I might remember how to do this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nuuli Forged. It has been 2 weeks since we have been lucky enough to grace your Twitch streams. So, hi, we're back. As you can see, we are missing a Matt this week, but we have a special, exciting Sarah back. Woo! Sarah's back.
Yay!
Gotta love it. So, hi everyone. I hope that your last 2 weeks have been fun and successful, and I hope everyone here has had a good 2 weeks. Ives Got It has resubscribed and joined the party. Ives Got It, you're the best. That's our mod, everyone. Yes, Ives Got It has been promoted from fan and watcher to moderator for all the crazy chat shenanigans that occur. But yeah, so, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend. Great. And he says, welcome back, everyone. I think I just felt our stream baby kick because it's his 7th month with us. So that's exciting. Yeah. Well,
excessively cute, but also exciting.
Indeed. Well, let's go around real quick here. Everybody reintroduce yourselves. Whoa, hello, alert. Everybody go ahead, reintroduce yourselves, your character. And why don't you tell me something about your character that you didn't know when you made the character, but you've now figured out about your character? If that makes sense. You follow me on this one?
I get you.
All right, cool. Well, I like that. I like that you're all thinking about it. I'm giving you 30 seconds to do it. I lied. I'm giving you 2 seconds to do it. And we'll start up in this corner here with Mike.
I was going to say, am I still in the middle?
Mm-hmm. My name is Mike. I play Defect, Warforged Barbarian. And honestly, up to this point, I feel like Defect is still a mystery. We haven't uncovered any clues as to who he is, what he is, where he's from. So I guess my answer to your question is, since creating this character, I've discovered how much more mysterious that he is. That's it.
Really? You haven't figured out like anything about like his personality that you didn't know before or anything like that?
He likes poetry.
Poetry and ducks.
Like, come on, get to the juice, man. Get to the juice.
Maybe Mike knew.
I was looking only at it from the surface area, right? Just like, oh, what has not right. So poetry, check. Ducks. Check. Hates mushies, check.
Yeah. I was gonna say killing, but I mean barbarians and killing. So
I knew that.
Yeah, that was. I knew that. And I guess I'll leave it at that. So we'll bounce to the next person.
All right, fair enough. I will accept that answer. Moving on down into this corner. Nope, this corner down here. That is Amber.
That's me. That corner.
You are
I
that
didn't know
corner.
I was that corner, but I'm this corner now. I'm Amber.
It depends on the frame of reference, but yeah.
I know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm Amber Tenajai. I play Greg, the Goblin Artificer. And, I mean, I guess I didn't realize that, like, I didn't realize that I knew how to be nice. Like, I haven't been, like, I don't know. I talk to people.
Aww.
It doesn't always suck or go horribly awry.
I really like that answer. That's wonderful. Moving along to the center square in the bottom row. That is Sarah.
Hey! I'm Sarah, and I'm in the center square, which means I never have to go first.
Well, now I'm going to have to pick on you first, because now you jinxed it.
My name is Sarah, and I play Olive, the half-orc moon druid. And I didn't know Olive was going to be a people person or a people orc when I created her. She had a hermit background, but apparently she's a people orc.
Who knew?
I mean, you could still be a people person and an introvert. That is my life.
That is true.
Your battery for people though is like really small.
And hopping into the opposing corner down here. Nope, this one down here. We have the glorious Visible Tanner.
Right? I have a camera, guys.
Woo! Camera.
Right. Hi, I'm Tanner. I play Adis the Human Ranger. And I don't know, personally, I was just shocked that Jared brought people from the past into current time. I thought I was going to be the only one. And so I never know what to do with them.
You thought you were going to
You
be all alone in
discovered-
this world, and I said, I like that idea. Let me destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you discovered that you like mushy stuff.
Yeah.
Or ate it.
Tanner is fantastic at mushy stuff. Oh, my camera froze. Tanner is fantastic at mushy stuff. Role-playing mushy stuff as a different character.
Oh yeah.
Doing
I
very
feel-
well.
Instead, you're suddenly the only one with friends from outside.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that being all of the players that we have this evening, I'm Jared. I am your humble dungeon master here for Nuuli Forged, and I play everybody else who's not a player character, which is fun and exciting for me. And I help guide these misfits, as they're so called, on their travels, which is pretty cool. So let's dive in and get some info on what happened last time on Nuuli Forged. Last time on Nuuli Forged, Greg and the Misfits gave Seda the information that they learned about the long-vanished village of Lightroll. And they asked if there was anything he thought they could do about it. He explained that he would be happy to try to help, but it would take him some time and some expensive supplies and resources in order to get any kind of interdimensional jumping up and happening. After this conversation, Adis realized that he could try to get to the temple using his latch blade, and ultimately was successful in the attempt, and was able to catch a glimpse of it floating on a large rock through the astral sea. Watching through the portal during that 1 minute, Defect noticed that there were some other constructed buildings nearby, as well as a few grave markers or monuments of some kind, and a few skeletons as well. But then the portal closed without anybody going through to further investigate. Whoa, drag race.
Oh, that's my window. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's what happens outside my window. I don't hear it anymore.
Fine. Unsure.
That's me with all the fire trucks.
It's welcome to New York, baby. Unsure on how to feel, the party went to bed that night. Spoot decided to wake up early and heard a large commotion happening throughout the city, and discovered that a large pearl tower had appeared at dawn on the very coast of Fay Harbor near the docks district. Deciding to investigate, Spoot made it in time to see the entire city council gather and meet with the master of the tower, the great mage Imolad, who appears to be a humanoid frog person. Spoot quickly told the others, and the group traveled back, hoping to get a chance to talk to this obviously learned individual and maybe pick up some new information and clues about what's going on in the world and everything. They were admitted and learned quite a lot from him about the shards and the fragments. A lot of world history and magical artifact history kind of got dumped on them, so that was a good thing to do. You learned quite a bit about something that you have in your possession. When they left, they brunched and were about to return to the above decks when each of them was delivered a letter with the message to come to a certain address ASAP. And Adis immediately recognized the address in the letter as his and Kaylin's own apartment. Adis immediately recognized. Oh, sorry, I just said that. The entire group hurried over there and arrived in time to see Kalen talking to a hooded, green-cloaked figure and an eagle flying into the room via an open window. So, we're going to rewind time a little bit here. Olive,
Yes.
you have been traveling towards Fay Harbor for the last day or so, making your way ever closer towards the walls of that city. And suddenly you hear a voice in your mind, and it tells you to follow the sparrow. And you scan the area for any sign of a sparrow, and suddenly one appears as if from nowhere, and it circles around you a couple of times, and then kind of flitting to catch your attention, and then banks off towards a different area of the city than you were heading towards. And something compels you to follow. As you follow it, you see homes and shops and streets filled with people going about their daily lives, most completely oblivious to you. The sparrow brings you into a decent area of town, and you pass by a small park, and you see the sparrow heading towards a closed bay window on an upper story of a small building.
That's going to go better for me than it does for the sparrow.
As the sparrow reaches the window, seemingly just before it would smash into it, the window opens, and so you follow it through, and you see before you a figure cloaked in green, and your friends, Spoot, Greg, Defect, and Adis, along with Kalen, and no sign of the sparrow. As you land on the ground beside the green-cloaked figure, you hear, "Oh, good, you're all here. I really do think it's time we talked. I've been looking forward to meeting you again, my friends. I am so glad you suggested meeting here, Adis. I do apologize for being a touch early, but your husband, Kalen, is a most welcoming host. And how fortuitous it aligns with the return of your friend." The cloaked individual gestures towards this eagle that has just flown into Kalen and Adis' apartment.
Screech!
What time of day is it?
It's about noon.
Oh, okay, so I can't just be like, it's too early for this. Wait, does Greg still throw the closest thing to them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that last week I was like, I pick something up and I throw it at the green guy.
What are you throwing? Like, you've just walked in the door.
Whatever is next to me, I'm just gonna be like, yeah.
I think we agreed you throw defect.
What?
There is like
that's what happened
there
to
is
the
like a
sparrow.
spare boot. Like one of Kalen's boots is by the ground, by the
Perfect. I
door.
pick up the chuck and be like, not you again.
Yeah, you throw it, and he just kind of like waves his hand, and the boot returns to where it was on the ground without even hitting him.
I just glare.
Wait, I didn't suggest for us to meet here.
Oh, I know. But I told your husband he did. It made it a lot easier to get in.
How'd you know where I live? Oh, wait, no. I don't. Faye. Right.
And you just hear kind of like a finger gun, like, kind of
Yeah.
click sound. I don't know if it's carrying over the mic, but that's what happened.
Kaylin, you can... I assume you can... This is the guy in the green cloak that met us in the desert and then again on the side of the road?
He said he's met you a couple of times and knew enough that it was convincing.
Yes, he knows a lot.
The figure kind of nods, and I really do think it is time we had a chat. I don't know if you want Kaylin to be here for this or not, but I really do think you should probably be in your regular shape, he says to the eagle.
Is the eagle the gray-green that we're accustomed to?
All right, I'll drop out of eagle.
You see the wings retract and kind of grow and become arms, and your friend Olive is back in action with you, having just
Olive!
transformed from an eagle.
Not Carolee.
Yeah, I walk over and
No,
give a good jab on across the shoulder there.
I'm gonna elbow him back.
What are you doing here? Why are you back?
I heard you needed me.
What? I mean, okay, but what? Wait a minute. And then I glare at the green guy again.
Oh, that had
I'm
nothing to
not
do
glad
with
to see
me.
you. What? I don't believe you.
Oh no, I didn't summon her, but I knew she was coming.
What? You didn't know
Again,
what she was coming.
you know a lot of things. What do we need to talk about?
Ah, I like that about you, Adis. Straight to the point.
Well, you
Well-
are in my house.
That's true. And a very nice one it is,
Unannounced.
too.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, I guess you can make yourself comfortable since you already are inside.
Well, I don't mind if I do. And at this point, he reaches his hood, and for the first time since you've ever encountered this individual, removes the hood. And what you see is an impossibly slender figure, though obviously enough male in its form, with long flowing hair the color of lilacs in springtime, and eyes like autumn leaves that seem to hold an ageless wisdom.
Ooh.
His skin is pale and youthful as freshly fallen snow, and his smile is warm as a summer's day.
This is an interesting direct description. Is this like the opposite of the frigid Duke?
In ways,
Say vaguely familiar
you-
description.
you do see some similarities here, except while the frigid Duke was definitely impactful, this individual, this entity, is more so. You notice that his ears are much longer than even the frigid Duke's Eladrin form that you are familiar with, and they almost seem to like curl back behind the head in sort of a halo or crown look, without
Interesting.
quite touching. Every fingernail is a different color. You don't know if that's natural or painted on or what, but each one is different.
Ah, Tanner is jealous of that.
Now, as I'm sure you suspect and know from our previous meetings, I am not merely a common wanderer, though I do meander my way around, and as I am confident Adis here has already deduced time and time again, I'm not from around here. You may call me Meridian, and I am from the Feywild, a plane of existence which overlaps this material plane that you know as Nuuli. I have spent quite a bit of time using the particular nature of my home plane to not only traverse back and forth between the two, but to sort of peek around in the ebb and flow of time. Now, this is a very dangerous sort of game, you see, because no one truly understands how time operates. It is a fundamental force of the universe, and yet with any outside observer, it's nothing. It's very interesting overall. Thus, its power, its drive, its very whims are a complete mystery to pretty much everything. Which is saying something, let me tell you. Now,
Forget, does coffee exist in this world?
maybe.
Would I have any? Because I'm probably
Sure.
still buzzed from brunch.
Yeah, I would say you had some sort of caffeinated beverage at.
I was
at
gonna
lunch.
say I was gonna have Kaylin put something.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You give Kalen a look, and he just kind of nods and begins like putting on something. A little caffeination station. Now, the results of directly tampering with time, you see, could be disastrous. But I am rather fond of watching your little world, and I think making sure things continue on apace can't cause too much harm. So,
Right, just
occasionally, when I notice that things are going to be a little dicey or could be quite bad for your little world here, I attempt to nudge it and correct it in certain ways by giving a tip or two to the odd group of capable individuals, such as yourself. Sometimes it works out, and other times it doesn't, but I do try. Any questions so far? You seem to be rather pensive about something, Adis.
Defect raises his hand.
Yes, the silent metal man.
Iron Man.
You lost me from the beginning. Just start over. There was a long talk about time.
Yes, essentially, I'm not from this plane of existence. I'm from another one. And using particular nature of that plane, I am able to peek around in the time stream a little bit.
Are you from the future?
No, Defect, he's from the same place the Frigid Duke was from.
Okay.
Well, not the same place, but more or less. Close enough, yeah.
Same plane.
Yes, exactly.
So what kind of nudges?
Oh, nothing too significant. Just a little, hey, maybe you should check out this town, or maybe an animal crosses their path at a certain moment in time to prevent them from falling into bigger trouble or some such thing. Just small little nudges that impact in a positive way. I'm very into the story of this little world. Yes, I can see something bubbling in that brain of yours, Adis.
There's things bubbling, but the words don't, they don't come out very well.
I know it's a lot to take in.
Where are you going to be nudging us?
Ah, well, you see, I'm glad you asked. I am a little concerned. For a long time, I have seen a great shadow rising over Nuuli. Sometimes it gets pushed back, and other times it spreads very rapidly. You see, it all comes down to choices, really. When I first met you, something about your group struck true. And so I returned home and had a little peek ahead and peek around and see what kind of merits you had. Lo and behold, your group was powerful, strong, and the shadow was very small and vanquished without too much of an issue. But then things changed. You went up against that dragon and lost a piece of your future. And with that loss, coupled with the addition of a new piece of future, the effects of time were altered. The shadow looms larger now than I have ever seen, and much sooner than anticipated.
Bro.
The impact you have had upon time is quite evident, if you know what you're looking for. You have made choices that altered the flow and have impacted the world around you with your actions, and thus you are all influences on time. Time will never stop flowing, at least not in this plane. It's too intrinsic to its nature. But you may yet alter its course into a more favorable outcome. Wouldn't that be a good thing?
Well, yes, and I don't suppose you can tell us the good and the bad.
Well,
That would affect things, probably.
do you know what the Arcanum Progeneris is? Or was?
We heard that, right?
You
I
did.
think we heard that, yeah.
You heard that the morning of this very day.
That was... Fuck, that was the main crystal before it was shattered, right?
That's correct.
Cool.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah. Ah, well, if you know what that is, then you must understand the nature of the shards and the fragments and all such things, yes?
Well, say we know of it. Understand is a little bit heavy because we haven't figured out how to use it yet.
Fair enough. But I don't need to give you the details of that. So, moving ahead.
I mean, you could tell me how to use it.
You just use it. It's very not very hard.
I don't know. We saw someone using it, and it was not.
He was a jerk.
Oh, well,
Should have killed.
power is power. It's how you use it that makes it good or bad.
Oh Lord.
If you believe in such things. Now, an entity known as the Ibn Shade has made moves to acquire some allies and is certainly searching for these fragments. I am sure that this entity is linked to this foreboding shadow that I have seen rise up to cover Nuuli in some way. Sadly, my peeks through time are not as exact and clear as I might like, and even seemingly inconsequential choices can alter things in ways great and small. As a result, the details get a little muddled. All I can really look at are impressions. Besides, if I knew all the details and the result, watching the story unfold wouldn't be nearly any fun. And I do love the story.
You don't suppose you have the location or direction of this Ibn Shade?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Do you know what an Ibn Shade is?
I know the name, but I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't met it yet. Though the name itself does not warrant friendly conversation, I don't think.
Well, we had just...
all of you can make a history check, actually. And Adis, you can make it with advantage, actually.
Not that that helped much.
All right.
Where's our knowledge cleric when we need him? Defect coming in with a natural 20.
Oh.
Wow.
Defect is paying more attention than we thought.
He doesn't know what he did last year, but he's got a perfect history score.
Right.
So here's what happens. Defect is kind of in and out of this conversation because it's a lot of big words and a lot of boisterous language. Defect, you only really hear like one part of this conversation, and it's that word Ibn.
Mm-hmm.
And so you keep thinking about kind of ignoring the rest of what this dude is saying. But you're
Makes
like,
sense.
I know that word. I know that word Ibn. What was that word Ibn? People have talked about that word Ibn before. And you remember that Ibn was, you heard it this morning. The Ibn was the group of mages who essentially caused the breaking. They got the shards together and tried to use them in some way, and it caused the explosion that set about the breaking. So you know that word Ibn is that group.
I quickly relay that information to the group.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
Aha.
That sounds familiar now that you're saying it.
Quite possibly related, I would imagine.
We were thinking, we spoke to that new wizard that popped into town. That giant pearl tower on the docks.
Which one is that?
Is that not the same guy?
This? No. The frog, God, I forget his name.
Imalad.
Imalad.
Ah. Imalad's here. Interesting.
Yeah. He told us that, we got on the topic of dragons, and he told us that silver dragons are friendly. And they live in mountains.
Yes.
And they live a long time, so I was thinking maybe we can go to try to find one and maybe they have some information that can help.
Well, sure. I mean, they can be capricious, but they are intelligent, helpful creatures.
Maybe they know something or have heard something about this Ibn Shade.
Oh, quite possibly, but I wouldn't know where one is. Dragons tend to not be as interesting to watch unless they're doing something very monumental. They tend to sleep a lot.
That's a mood. I mean, there's some mountains northeast of here.
Oh, yes.
Not looking at a map, so I'm not sure. But could possibly check those. Maybe speak to the people in the towns, and maybe they have heard or seen something.
Quite possible. But if this thing is gathering fragments, whatever it is, if I might be so bold, I would highly recommend that you begin your own search for such things and artifacts.
Yes, we heard they sometimes hit where there were storms.
Oh, yes. That is what powered most of the storms, you see. The
Right.
fact that the storms have subsided probably means that all of the various shards have deposited themselves in places all across the planet.
Right. But I haven't been around long enough to have seen most of the storms, and so maybe something that has been living long enough can give us ideas.
It is possible.
And if we talk to more people, they'll have more ideas.
Yes, well, obviously, finding a raw fragment would require it being embedded in something, given purpose, which is possible.
Olive, my house isn't that dusty.
I might have a feather allergy.
Sounds problematic.
Now, these artifacts, if you can find them, can be of great assistance and power in whatever this coming battle you might have is. And now, I don't know myself where such things are, you understand, but I can point you in the right direction of some people who might.
Do they
Wait.
know you as you, or just the weirdo in the green cloak who shows up and does weird stuff?
Well, if I were you, I would head either towards the east, towards the Verdentious Causeway, and see if you can convince some of those elves to help you out. They were able to spare most of their lands from the ravages of the breaking, so they must know something that could be useful to you, provided you can get in, of course. The other option is to head south, to Soulmount, and seek the Guardian there. Sure, it would be treacherous, and the Guardian may not help you at all, but it couldn't hurt to try. But since you mention it, whichever route you do take, best to leave me and my name out of it. I think the fewer people who know about me, the better. Anyway, that's just my recommendation. You could always ignore what I say, but do give it a little bit of thought. I think you all have a lot of potential.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So with you liking us and talking to us, aside from telling us vague guidance in a general direction, do we get any perks? If you're putting your eggs in our basket.
Well, if you succeed, you get to survive with your entire planet.
You
Give
can give us some more of those sandwiches along the way.
Oh, when you get into the thick of it, I don't think you'll be wanting sandwiches.
I don't know, it was quite restful and quite delicious, actually.
Well, thank you. I do try.
Well, suppose we have a lot to talk about.
Well, then I will leave you to it. It is nice to see you all again. And he kind of nods to each of you. I'll be watching. Have fun. And pulls up his cloak. And as he pulls up the hood and his gorgeous face disappears beneath it, it kind of falls over and into itself, and he disappears. Kaelin comes out with like a of the little kitchenette with like a tray of some sort of coffee-like beverage. Like,
Espresso.
that was a
Right.
lot. and kind of
Yeah.
passes the tray around.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, so we have to go talk to the isolationist elves, or this guardian in a mountain who might not help us. Neither one are guaranteed to help us, but could help us.
Which
If
one is
we're
more
What are they
likely to try to
helping us
kill
with?
us?
I don't know, a guardian of a mountain sounds a little like it might try to fight us.
But what are they helping us with?
Finding the shards,
That's our job now? That's really what we're doing?
I guess.
And then
But
an
you won't
image
even let me use this one.
We might find maybe I mean, if the elves are able to stave off the storms, they probably have the means to work with these shards, possibly.
And maybe if the shards cause storms and the elves know how to stave them off, maybe that's information we might have need of if we're going to find more of them.
I mean, we already know not to touch it with our hands. At least I learned that one the hard way. That shit hurt. But I suppose, I mean, Greg, you can always find new things. More ruins, more shinies.
Yeah, okay. I mean, are we like saving the world? Because if we save the world and nobody knows we're doing it, that's not as much fun if we're like,
I mean, we have a group name,
yeah, yeah.
and we'll be going around probably helping people along the way.
Okay, sure, sure. But who's helping us?
They'll be giving us money
Why?
for solving their problems.
So you're saying if we just go that direction, you think we'll find more stuff to do? Because it seems like we got a sweet deal here in town. I mean, like, and it's not the best town, but so far, the tavern guy is nice. The rich people like to pay us money to go do things for them. And we've got a name that people recognize.
I mean, do you want to just sit here?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't want to sit here. Sorry, Kaylin.
I just got
it's-
here and I don't want to sit here.
I mean, this is a nice place to visit, but it's not where I would choose to live either.
The Verdentious Causeway, the forest there sounds amazing.
Where is that? Hang on. I gotta.
It is
That's
it
fast
is.
forward.
Kind of like east, northeast, kind of, yeah.
Hey, there we
There
go.
we go.
There's a map.
Yeah, let's look at a map here.
Wait
So
a minute.
we're either going over
I
to
don't see a
here.
causeway.
Yeah.
This is the whole causeway, the forest.
Oh, okay. I was looking for a different kind of causeway,
Yeah. So this,
which leads to mountains.
right, or here to the Guardian,
We've walked
Didn't we
past
meet
that
him?
way a few times.
right. So I mean, this one's closer. I don't know if we want to deal with a Guardian, but this
I don't know
one's
if I want to deal with any elves.
right. Although,
I guess those other
they're not
elves were sort of helpful. They were a little weird and like had a weird commune thing going on, but they weren't too bad. Although
mean,
that
they-
portal thing.
they tend to isolate themselves, but I don't think they necessarily have done anything to, pillaging, raiding, attacking people, building an army, that kind of stuff.
Sure. I mean, that's like stuff you do. I mean, the world ended.
We will talk later, Greg. I don't know who you're raiding and pillaging.
I've never met an elf. I think that kind of might be fun.
I mean, elves.
They're weird.
You're weird, Greg.
Well, okay. No, oh,
Defect is weird.
Defect's the best.
Boot's weird. He's a giant turtle.
Boot's really nice. Too nice.
He is very nice. I'm just saying, we're all kind of weird. And so I got this giant fucking mark on my face.
I mean, that's a choice. It's a style choice. It's
I
whatever.
never noticed it.
It's a birthmark. It's something I can't control, but it's still
Sure,
there, and
but
it's kind
it's
of
a
weird.
look.
So, I mean, the elves aren't that weird. They just live a very long time.
I mean, that's sort of what we're hoping for, isn't it? People who have been alive for a very long time.
Yeah, they have
I
a
guess-
long time to master skills.
But why doesn't Green, what's his name? Meredith?
Meredith. That's what we're calling him now.
Meredith.
Oh, sorry.
Original.
We just hear a sigh. Just like
I couldn't help it.
Merryweather.
Merryweather. Meredith's better. Because now I'm picturing Meredith from The Office. So I mean, why if Meridian?
This is
was
why you
wrong-
can't have anything nice when you have D&D players in your life.
Facts.
You're the one who forgot your player was named Amber and made an NPC named Amber. So
I didn't forget that you had that your name was Amber. It
just
just
wanted to-
also happened to make an NPC named Amber.
sure.
Lord.
Anyway, but back to what Greg was saying. If Meridian lives so long, why doesn't he like give us actual information rather than just like point us vaguely in a direction? I don't know how I feel about like going and talking to people who've lived longer. So far, the only thing that's worked is going back and seeing it ourselves.
I mean, that's how the Fae work. They know a lot of things, and they like to beat around the bush.
I'll beat something. I don't know. If we could find some profit on the way, then sure, fine. We'll go. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know.
I mean,
But
if
I'm
you
telling
really
you.
want, I'm sure we'll find some bandits along the way you can take frustrations out on.
Great.
That solves everything. Just give Greg a group of bandits to harass.
Well, I don't think it solves everything, Adis. I'm just saying that,
regular
right.
bandit infusion.
you know, like, sure, like, save the world. But, you know, to be clear, like, to be rich and famous, you don't have to save the world.
No.
but it
So,
helps.
like, you just have to, like, save the little people, and then you get, like, the legend, and then, you know, you gotta find the right, you know, cloak, and you have to have money for the nice things, and, you know, I'm just, you know, let's, you know, saving the world, I don't know. I guess I've never saved the world before, but I feel like, wouldn't that be kind of, like, going and doing a thing for, like, no reason except to do good? Doesn't that
Well, I
seem
mean-
odd to anyone else?
I mean, sometimes that happens accidentally, at least in some books that I've read.
Oh, I guess I have.
Olive's
I
going
don't-
to casually lean on her fancy quarterstaff in front of Grig.
Yeah. Hi. It's very fancy.
Yeah, you see this
Have you been
quarterstaff
polishing
is carved fairly interestingly. It's carved with like images of plant life that appear to be like olive branches and like olive leaves and stuff like that.
You really like olives, don't you?
No, this was a gift. Apparently when you save people, they give you fancy things.
I like presents.
That's what I've been saying. Along the way, if we help people, we'll get things. Also,
Right.
Olive, here's this necklace.
What does it do?
Oh yeah.
It's something when you change into animals, you get some bonuses. As long as you're within, like, a certain range of us.
Okay.
It's the talisman of the
Pack
Packmaster.
Hunter Talisman. Yep.
Yeah. You get 5 temp HP for every ally within a certain distance of you when you wild shape. I forget the exact distance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like if all 4 of us are standing near you, that's an extra 20 temp HP for any animal form. So you can have
Ooh.
a squirrel with 21 HP.
Sweet!
So,
in fact, if you look at if you refresh
My hoodie thing.
your D&D Beyond, you will find that you have a talisman of the pack hunter, or a pack hunter talisman rather.
Yeah, we took that from some hags in a sea cave.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's there, so you should. It's probably like it might be in the unattunement slot, but just give it a roll, or give it a refresh, and you will see it.
Refreshing again. Inventory. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a wondrous
Yay.
item. How wondrous.
Wondrous.
Yep. And Greg
Cool.
Greg or Spoot has already identified it, so they can tell you the details of it.
Requires attunement. How do I attune it?
You just chill with it for an hour.
Yeah, you spend an hour learning the secrets of the thing, and it attunes to your bio essence.
You rub it and whisper sweet nothings, and then it grants you magic power.
Sometimes that's how it works.
Ah, there we go. All right. Gotcha.
So what are we feeling? Are we feeling elves or suspicious mountain guardian in a single mountain that's sticking out of the ground south of us that we've passed several times?
I think we should go to elves.
All right.
I think people who have lived through sharding before can tell us more about shards.
That's fair.
They've lived through sharding.
Oh man. Don't you hate it when you shard in the middle of things? Like,
It's the worst.
I hate getting sharded.
Shard.
I
Words
hate you all.
words are hard.
That's the Defects New Poetry book.
Written by me.
Written by defect.
So we should pass through the glimmering void on the way to the Verdentious Causeway.
It looks like we could take the river there.
Possibly. Although I think the river's flowing downstream, so it might be a bit of a pain to paddle upstream against the current.
I can swim.
You can. Grig can't.
Canonically.
Yeah, canonically, Grig cannot swim. You should probably get you a ring of water walking.
I've had other characters have that. It's pretty great.
I mean, if you can't swim, you should probably have that.
Right.
Or like water wings. We'll get you water wings.
Definitely water wings. More to the point, I could pull a raft.
I mean, that would be useful. I don't know. It's up. Do we want to travel on foot or do we want to buy we'd have to buy a raft.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not committed to coming back here if we leave. Although that tavern guy's all right.
I mean, we have a few. At least I have a few commitments here.
Kaylin kind of like gives you a little smirk.
If I could waggle my eyebrows, I would.
Why don't you just buy horses? Says
Why do
Kaylin.
you have to be logical?
Someone in this marriage has to be.
Swimming is more fun.
Like every single one of my relationships. We could buy horses. Oh wait, I don't have good animal handling. Yikes, I should probably take him as a ranger. Whoops.
Well, they are trained, so like children ride horses, Adis. I'm just saying, it's an option you have. You seem to have the money.
We've
Great
ridden
weather.
a horse before, haven't we?
I don't think we did. No. I mean, maybe I have in the past, but it's been a little bit. Uh, Olive can just be a horse.
Olive can just be a horse.
Yeah.
For a
Although,
little
frankly,
while.
yeah. Although the eagle has a much greater range, but then I suppose you guys would have to keep up.
I mean, you could just circle around and just like keep. Why are you losers so slow? We'll get Greg. We'll get Greg a miniature pony.
What?
I'm just imagining it, and it's fantastic. What are our party funds at currently?
Well, I believe crap ton is the technical term. But 250 platinum, 2,350 gold, 930 silver.
Kalen
Whoa.
spits out his drink. You have what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is why you have the apartment. If you need more, you know who to call. That guy. Although, to be
also
fair,
spits out
he'll
her
have
drink.
to check with the rest of us. And honestly, if you're spending a lot of money, but it's not an awesome stuff, then we might have a problem.
Kalen just looks at you and just kind of shakes his head, Adis, and
I mean, I have another 647 gold currently.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't even burned through half of what you gave me the first time.
Wow. You should buy some nice stuff. I mean, not that this isn't nice, but like, treat yourself. See, I've got this really great blanket. It's a really great cloak. It's very fabulous. Oh, and I've got this brooch. It's like a cloak pin. I just put it right here like this. And then, oh, and I found this ring. I don't know. I never wear it, but it's really pretty. I maybe should start wearing it. But I'm just worried it's going to get broken.
Doesn't someone have a tiara? Is it Defect or Spoot that has the tiara?
Huh.
The tiara of like night vision.
Yeah, one of them has a tiara.
I think Defect does.
Olive is just looking at all of
The
you.
circlet of night piercing.
Yeah.
Olive is just looking at all of you in like confusion and horror. Like, what on earth have you done?
I mean, I have this giant sword.
We got paid.
Yeah.
You missed a lot.
How
I
much?
guess so.
How much does a horse cost in D&D?
I don't know.
We also have to
12.
feed the horses. We also have to feed the horses too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have all
and
that
yeah.
rice. I'm still carrying pounds and pounds of rice.
We're not feeding the horses rice. That's like feeding a duck bread.
Apparently, I
back.
can't be a horse. Why can't I be a horse? Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Never mind. I found it. I
Oh,
can be a
it
horse.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah,
It's like-
or be a camel.
Yeah, no, horse is an option. It's just alphabetized weird.
Oh.
What is alphabet?
Yeah, like you can have a riding horse and like it can carry an amount of feed or whatever for it. They also graze.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do we have to bring them back or do we own them? And then if we own them, do we have to take care of them?
If you buy them, you would own them.
Yeah,
And yes, we'd have to take care of them.
I call not it.
Apparently, I could be a draft horse, a riding horse, a war horse, or a seahorse.
Seahorse is the correct one. And when we buy the raft, you're gonna pull us as the seahorse.
Oh my god, yes. I would ride a giant seahorse because then I don't have to swim.
Joke is the seahorse is actually a hippocampus.
The seahorse can only breathe underwater, so I hope you can breathe underwater there, Greg.
There's a potion for that, right?
We've had a couple of those. I don't know. I mean, if you don't want, Greg, if you don't want the responsibility of the horse, maybe you could, if Olive can turn into a horse, you can just ride Olive.
I also don't need my own. I mean, I'd be pretty glorious, but I don't know how I feel about animals. Have we ridden horses yet?
No.
Yeah, no. I don't know how I feel about animals. They're like big.
You rode Olive at some point.
I did ride you at some point. That's true.
And there's the episode title. Greg rode Olive.
I did ride you at some point.
I
At
did
some
ride you
point.
at some point.
I think I might have been a cat of some kind, though.
No, it was I think it was like a ram or something.
Yeah.
It was like a goat.
Yeah, I went.
It's like a goat or like a boar.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. It might
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been more.
yeah. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes, it was a giant boar.
Lord.
It turned into a
Anyway.
giant boar catapult, as I recall.
I could just like fit with somebody else, right? Couldn't I? Or do I have to do my own? I don't.
I think with your creature size, you can fit on somebody else's, technically, because you're small, right?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I think that'd be up to Jared. Not sure. We could just get you a miniature pony.
I mean, like, horses can carry more than one person, but depending on what else they are carrying, like, it can give them exhaustion or reduce their speed for the day, that kind of stuff. So, but Grig doesn't weigh very much, so they can probably ride
And they have
tandem
like
with
a
someone.
holding.
Tall, but I'm super lanky.
They can ride on my back as long as they don't have spurs.
What's a spur?
It's this metal pointy things on the back of your boots.
Oh, those sound fun.
No.
Not for the
Okay.
horse.
Well, sure, but like for kicking things.
For kicking, I could see the uses. But they're used for kicking horses in the sides to make them go faster.
I will also
it work?
remind Olive that she can only be a horse for a certain amount of time every day.
Yeah.
It is true.
But
I mean,
is true.
okay.
technically, it's like, I think we're at 4 hours for you, and you get 2, and then you get them both back on a short rest.
4 hours at a time, yeah. So 8 hours a day of being a horse is actually a fairly significant
Yeah,
travel day.
yeah, it is.
We're just gonna buy a
long
wagon,
as we
and
don't have
you're
to
just
be
gonna
anybody
be
else.
pulling it.
That's hysterical. I mean, okay. What if we could meet? I just, I don't. Defect. How do you feel about horses?
Can I ride a horse?
Why couldn't you?
Because I've never done it before.
Do you know
I feel
if you've
like-
ever done it? You don't know. You
We
don't
got ourselves
know.
a born identity situation here.
All right, so horseback riding lessons all around.
Yeah.
I think I'm
do you
fine
get on a
with it.
horse, Spoot? How much do you weigh? Would you break a horse?
Spoot just kind of shrugs, kind of. Oh.
I don't want to
Well-
break.
We'll have Spoot be pulled in like a little red wagon by a horse.
Right.
Does
I'm
not
guessing it's going to be off road.
say what how much weight a horse can carry.
A riding horse can carry 480 pounds.
Oh,
I think Spoot's like 400, and then he has his equipment.
A war horse can carry 540 pounds. They're bigger, sturdier
So it needs
animals,
more horse.
yes.
better
Or-
trained.
Stronger.
We
All right.
could,
Here's what we do. Where's
They
the
cost
horse
a lot
store?
more.
we can maybe buy a wagon. A big,
Sure.
nice wagon.
But does that go, like, where are we going? Have you ever been to this glen and the causeway and, like,
No.
There's
are we
a
on
void.
roads? Or are we just, like,
How
going?
how
There's a
long
void
on
in
the
the way.
map? Right. I mean, I don't think it's actually a void. Maybe it's just a void of life.
But
It
it's
still doesn't sound
glimmering.
very friendly.
Wagon friendly.
We haven't gone many friendly places. We can ask the horse merchant maybe, but how long of a distance does it look on the map? If it's scaled correctly, can I
On-
assume distance
On the
and
map,
time?
it's probably a couple of weeks.
I was going to say if Southbrook was 2 days travel,
Right. I don't know. If
You know, and there might not be like a direct road, like you might have to zigzag unless you want to forge through the pastoral plains.
I'm really just envisioning us with like a canvas-covered wagon pulled by a really nice donkey that actually goes really slow. And Spoot has like a piece of hay, and we're just pioneering.
Can
Sombrero.
we paint
Yeah.
the side of the wagon with our name? We need a
That's-
logo.
I don't see why not.
This
Let's
doesn't
go
sound like a very efficient way to travel.
I've
Nope.
got it in chat. A little radio flyer red wagon.
Yes.
This doesn't seem like a very efficient mode of travel.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna be on the road a long time, we might want a wagon.
We got a great tent.
We do have a great tent. I'm just saying if we need to store more supplies,
Mhm.
Oh.
because not everything literally fits in your bag. Because it's
No.
only like
I guess not.
big. Why don't we go to the horse merchant? Maybe they have like carriages as well, and we can see what that's gonna
Can meet
look
the
like.
horses, but I don't want to have to abandon it because there's not roads. Again, we're gonna get to wild places eventually, right? It's like the middle of nowhere up there.
Put them in your bag.
The wagon?
I'm kidding. No, the horses.
Same answer. I don't think you can breathe in there.
It's a joke.
It's okay. I think we can put them in a stasis first, can't we?
What?
No.
Well, you could actually petrify them, and then they would be fine for at least a while.
Let's just go grab some basilisk blood first.
Yeah.
You know.
Petrificus totalis.
If only that worked. Where's my
Right.
wizard?
Right.
Why don't we go stop by a horse merchant stable?
So we're gonna meet a horse.
Can I talk to the horse?
I mean, you're a druid. You can do whatever you want. You seem very excited about this. It's like scarily enthusiastic. Um, let's go find a horse
Yeah,
merchant.
let's go meet a horse.
Great. Somebody just give me an investigation check.
Greg.
Great.
Someone with intelligence.
The person who doesn't necessarily like animals is gonna look for them. 16.
Greg, it doesn't take you too long. You can smell the stables of some place with a lot of horses fairly soon after departing the apartment.
I know that smell. That's that smell that I used to avoid back home. I think that must be where the horses are.
Yeah. Yeah, you can smell the manure. But you get yourself to a stable, and it is very large. There's many horses in stalls. There's like a few attendants and people like tending to the horses and like brushing them down, watering them, all that kind of stuff. And you see a couple like young kids mucking out a few stalls here and there, and some other ones like bringing hay to certain horses at certain times. Just obvious kind of like barn stable activities. And you see an interesting individual kind of like overseeing it all, just kind of like standing back and watching, occasionally shouting the odd order. You see a 6 foot tall, probably like 6'3" tall individual, big, broad shoulders, scaled arms and back that are just covered by like overalls kind of deal.
Love it.
Yeah. Red scales, kind of ochre, dusty red. Horns coming out of the top of their head. You can see as you kind of watch that it's a masculine form. Big, powerful legs and pants. No boots, but like big clawed, taloned feet. And a snout that is very reminiscent of a creature you've seen before, a dragon.
Heard of Dragonborn?
You have all heard of these creatures, but you've never seen one before. But you are all able to gather that this is a dragonborn individual.
I approach said Dragonborn.
Ah, yes, may I help you?
Hi, me and my companions were looking to purchase some horses. Possibly, I don't know if you have carriages as well.
Well, no carriages, but I've got the best horses you can find here in Fay Harbor.
Alright. We're
While
taking
this is going on, I'm going to ritual cast Speak with the Animals.
Sure. So you take 10 minutes somewhere.
While Adis is chatting.
You just don't want to turn into a horse and go speak with the horses?
No.
We're headed up to the Verdentious Causeway.
Ha! Gonna try and get some elves, huh? Well, good luck with that.
Right.
But you want horses? I'll sell you horses.
How much are they?
Well, it depends. If you want a standard riding horse, you're talking 75 gold easy. But if you want something a little more robust, I do have a couple of war horses that I've been training up. They're not as sought after, but the training makes them a lot more easy to command, and they're stronger, they're sturdier stock. So, you know, they're probably about 400 gold. And, you know, then there's barding if you want them to be armored, saddle. You know, so what are you looking for here? Can you what?
Meet them.
Well, yeah, if you want to buy some horses, it's perfectly okay to inspect the animals beforehand. They're all high quality. Not if you don't provoke them.
They're gonna kick.
Not my horses.
How do they poop? Or we have to clean up their poop?
Not if
Well,
we're out in the middle of a field.
They poop in the usual way. They've got an ass like everything
Memories
else.
of horse poop. Okay, it's okay. Everything's fine. Speaking of things I've learned about my character, stepped in horse poop that one time. It was terrible.
Well, it's funny you mention that. Horse poop actually is mostly oats and hay. So there's not a lot of odoriferous material usually.
Nah, it was mostly the texture. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Horse apples are, you know, not the worst thing to step in, but, you know, whatever. It's better than people crap.
Yeah. Stepped in my share of that too.
Now, are you all looking for one horse each? And he kind of sizes up Spoot and Defect. He's like, you two large individuals, unless you're going to put this thing in a wagon, he kind of motions to Defect. Probably going to need a bit of sturdier stock on there. Like, horse could probably carry it, but probably be maxing it out.
How much does Defect weigh?
I don't know. We haven't found out.
When I made my character so long ago, it was 310 pounds.
Okay.
There you go. Olive's going to, come up to the nearest horse and kind of pat him on the nose, say hello, and ask the horse how they feel treated by this stable master, and if they, what they think of his treatment of them.
Okay. The horse kind of looks at you, and in some kind of like horse beast speech that you can talk to it. Oh, it's quite nice. I get fed well. I get to go out in the pasture and run around whenever I wish. It's very nice here. Can be a little boring, I suppose. But occasionally they get apples, and ooh, apples. I like a good apple. They're crunchy and wet and sweet all at once. It's nice. I like an apple. Do you have an apple?
I'm sorry that I do not have an apple today, but some of your friends might get to come on an adventure with us. Some of you and or some of your friends might get to come on an adventure with us.
Oh, well, that would be interesting. Well, I don't know what adventuring is, but I like to go outside. Do you like to go outside? Do you like to go outside? And it kind of like looks to either side, and the other horse is kind of like, yeah, we like to go outside. We like to go outside.
um, do any of the horses seem I don't know, less friendly or less do we have one horse that's not wanting to talk with the others?
I mean, these are just like the three horses like in your immediate vicinity. The one you're talking to, and then one on either side.
Okay, and they all seem to be friendly, and they think they're well cared for, and they like their stable master.
Yeah, these are three in stalls. Like, there's a paddock over another place that has like horses running around.
Okay,
Or laying down or doing horse stuff.
it's fair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if this guy was going to be, if this guy was mean to his horses, we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I know. The horse seems very like chill and very content with with its treatment.
And tell everyone else that these horses seem to be pretty happy and up for adventure.
Well, of course they are. I've been training them myself for years. That one you're interacting with, that's Chestnut. Been training her for 2 years myself. She's a good one.
Do you know where carriages are? Is there someone who sells carriages?
Well, there is of course the farrier could probably help you out. The Cooper, maybe.
Which direction are they?
He points kind of down the road. They're not too far. They do that kind of stuff mostly for nobles, but they also build some wagons.
All right. Cool. We probably will be back.
The horses, how do they feel
I thought
about
I was
pulling
going to
wagons?
meet the horses. I still am not convinced that horses are a good idea.
And ask the horses how they feel about pulling wagons.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to... Y'all go talk to the horses. I'm going to go find this cabin, or carriage merchant.
Yeah.
Farrier?
Go finish. Yeah, I'm going to price things out. And then I'll come back while you guys are still speaking to horses.
All right. So as Adis heads off, the rest of you go over to meet the horses. And that is where we are going to take a quick little break here. And then we'll come back to see what other shenanigans y'all get up to.
So goofy today.
Lord.
So goofy today.
So we will be right back here on Newly Forged. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thanks, everyone. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took a little bio break. Adis has gone off to investigate the possibility of a wagon, and the rest of you have decided to attempt to interact with some horses. You approach the horses, and every horse you look at seems very well maintained and groomed and taken care of. And the Dragonborn individual is like pointing out like each horse. He's pretty confident in all of his creatures. Like he's like they're all good horses. All of them are fine, sturdy animals. They are well trained to make it easy for any rider.
I'm gonna keep talking to them and asking them how much, who's excited about adventure.
Yeah, they all kind of go like, yeah, sure, whatever. You're feeding us, right? You're going to feed us, right? Aren't you?
We'll think about it.
Well, if you're not going to feed us, we'll just stay here, and that's much better for us.
Of course, we are going to feed you. If we decide to take you with us,
With apples? Do you have an apple? You should have an apple.
we will get some apples.
Ah, wonderful. We love apples. I love apples. You like apples too, right? I do. I do like apples. Well.
These horses are great.
Hey guys, all these horses seem really excited about us.
Yeah, you do see a few like larger, sturdier horses kind of down one side that the proprietor tells you are the war horses that are heavily trained for mounted combat and how to deal with adverse situations, that kind of stuff. They're also sturdier creatures.
I make friends with them too.
Defect is drawn to them, so Defect will walk over as well.
Yeah, you go over to them. Do you try to do the same, like, talking shenanigans to them?
I would like to talk to them. I want to make sure that they are well. I feel like sketchy horse sellers is a thing, and I want to make sure that that these horses are.
Yeah, these horses have a little bit more of like a haughtiness to them. They're like, "Can I help you?"
Just, making sure you're well cared for and things here.
Yes.
How do you tell me about your training?
We wake up in the morning. We train against things that are sharp and pointy, how to avoid them. It's very busy work.
Excellent. Good job.
Of
course.
Ask them if they've ever killed a man.
My metal friend here wants to know how many men you've killed.
Why would I kill a man? Men feed us. We are taught how, but we've never had to.
How about creatures? Have you ever killed anything?
There are flies that we swat occasionally. They're annoying. They just buzz around. Get them with the tail.
That's fair. They're super annoying. You're right. Sorry, Defect. They are apparently they're well trained, but are untried in combat, in death.
What do I have to roll?
The one you're talking to like sticks its face like right up to you, like, and looks at you with its one eye. You wouldn't have a carrot, would you?
I don't. Let me ask around. Hey guys, anyone carrying carrots?
A what?
Carrot.
What?
Orange pointy thing about yay big. Horses like them.
No. You eat it?
Well, they do.
Oh.
Food? Why would we have horse food?
I'm not a horse.
I don't know. I don't know what you guys have been doing with yourselves for the past few months. Maybe you've been making stew. Carrots go in people stew too.
Oh. But like, Maybe I've eaten them.
I like how the character with the highest intelligence has no clue about what vegetables are.
I mean, like in theory, but like, why would I learn what vegetables are?
They're orange.
I
You mean
don't.
orange
I don't know
vegetables?
that. I was eating trash. Come on.
I
Smart
don't
enough to
eat-
teach myself stuff, not smart enough to like know normal things.
Fair.
So what would I have to roll to find Grig's horse? Right. To like look around and be like, which horse feels like one that Grig doesn't think is weird and awful?
Go ahead, make an animal handling check.
Yeah. That's about what I was thinking.
So that's a 9.
Yeah.
Great. You see a horse in like towards the end of the stalls that is a little bit smaller than the other ones, but it is like a ruddy roan, like kind of reddish furred like haired horse, pelted horse, whatever. It's got like a kind of tawny mane, but like instead of the mane being like back and flowy, it's kind of shorter and ridged, like spiky almost.
Horse with a mohawk.
Kind of.
I just watch it for a minute and I point at it. And I go, what's that one?
The dragonborn individual looks at, well, that's Red Thunder.
That's an acceptable name.
He's a fine horse. Nothing wrong with him. He's... I don't know if I'd give him to a novice rider. He can be a little stubborn, but he does his job.
Hey, Thunder! Come here, Thunder.
The dragonborn looks down at you as like, they're horses, not dogs.
So they don't come when you call?
Well, if you call correctly. And he takes his 2 big, like, clawed fingers and does a piercing whistle into them in, like, 3 high shrill notes. And all of the horses, like, raise their head and look up and kind of, like, get as close to him as they can in their stalls. And you see that even horses, like, out in the paddock kind of trot over towards the area. You just got to know what you're doing.
Greg tries to make the whistling sound.
Great. Make a dexterity-based performance check.
Okay.
So
what
it's
does
a
that mean?
so it's a performance check with your dexterity modifier instead of charisma.
Okay. Well, performance is 0, so a 16 plus my dex modifier, which is a 3, so 19.
Nice.
Okay.
I did it.
Yeah, you do the same piercing whistle in the 3 notes, and the horses all like kind of jostle around and look down at you.
I like that.
Ah, that was pretty good for a first time out. Not bad. And this
Hey.
big pawed hand smacks you on the back.
Cool.
Yeah. Impressive.
Thanks.
So while you're all horse shenanigating, Adis, you easily find the wagoneer kind of area. It's got like wagons out front and wheels being made, and you hear hammering and sawing and building.
Hello.
Yeah. This human man kind of walks out. He's a 5'10", kind of portly.
Hi. I was curious about your wagons or carriages.
Yeah, we got wagons. Just for hauling with a horse.
Me and my companions are going up towards the Prudentious Causeway. And we're looking for something along the way because 2 of our party members are large in stature. So I was just curious. It might be easier to have a wagon instead of buying two very expensive horses.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, depending on how big your friends there be, we got a single horse wagon and we got a tandem wagon. We got they're capable of hauling some weight.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty hefty normal stuff. Traders use these kind of wagons. We repair them. We make them new to order. Here, let me show you what I got. And he shows you these two wagons that are like on display, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They appear solidly
Cool model.
built. They're just kind of natural wood that's been like stained and lacquered to like protect against weather.
Mm-hmm.
All the fittings are secure. This one here, the single horse wagon, about 35 gold for this one. For the tandem, 60 gold.
Is it how big, like spaciously, is the tandem? Is it open?
It's like 8x8. It's an 8x8 bed.
All right, and is it like open space? Like there's no roof or anything, or is it have
There is not a roof. No.
Okay.
Like these are wagons. They're not covered wagons.
Okay. Do you have covered wagons? I'm just curious.
I don't at the moment, but I could make one of these into a covered wagon in about a week or so. Cost a little more.
How much more?
Oh, probably another 30 gold. Got to get the materials. Got to get the cover sewn and stitched.
All right. He said for the tandem. He said it was 65 base.
60. Yeah.
60. All right. So. All right. I have to go speak with my companions. I possibly will be back. I have to see what our plans are for traveling. We're just trying to price everything out first.
Sure, I understand. Won't find better wagons in all of Bay Harbor, though.
I mean, these look pretty nice.
Appreciate a fella who has an eye for craftsmanship.
Yes. I mean, grew up around a lot of crafted, like, grew up in a forest with a lot of nicely wooden homes. Anyway, all right. I appreciate it. I will see you around. I'll head back to the horse guy.
Yeah.
Stable.
You make your way there, and you see your friends talking to the guy, talking about various horses.
Are you back in time to hear my whistle?
You heard it on the approach. It was pretty loud.
Yeah.
Greg, was that you?
How'd you tell?
I hear a lot of things.
Nice.
You're easy to
It's
pick
pretty
up.
good.
It was quite good, yes. So I spoke with the carriage, or the what was it? Carriage merchant.
Carrier.
The Wagoneer.
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 He said that for a tandem wagon it would be about 60, and if we wanted to make it covered it would be about another 30, but he'd need a week to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're thinking of for a timeline. If we need covered, I was just thinking covered because of if it rains, not sitting in it all day.
Sure.
The Dragonborn pipes up. Well, if you're going to get a wagon, you can always just get some tarps and cover whatever you're hauling in it.
I was thinking of us sitting in it.
Ah, well, that's a different story.
Yes. Well, it's up to you all, because I assume this would be party funds to a point.
Right.
I would be willing to pay for the wagon itself, and to have it covered, if we're willing to wait a week. If not, I mean, we could just buy the horses individually, but I just feel like this would at some point, if we get a tandem, it would cut down on the amount of money we're spending.
Sure, yeah, probably. I just, again, like, we're gonna go into the wild. Have you ever been to the Verdenton Glen? Right? Are there roads? Would a wagon make it? Do we know?
Are you
I don't want
asking
to
the
just spend
Dragonborn?
money and
Or...
then leave it.
Let's ask the
Yeah.
Dragonborn, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've never been up that way myself. I'm from the Pastoral Plains, but settled here in Fay Harbor a few years back. Heard stories. The elves nobody could get into the causeway for hundreds of years. Story goes, and then about a few years back, they opened up one kind of trading post, or it's not much. It's just a couple of like open areas at the edge of the forest that they call the Verdenton Glen, and they do some small trading there with folks, but from what I understand, it's always a bit of a hassle. The elves are sticklers about protocol and certain manners and whatnot.
Right.
They got some weird quirk about, what is it? And he kind of rubs his chin a little bit. Something about the way they talk. I can't remember it right now. But there's something you're not supposed to do to them elves. Can't remember.
Suppose maybe we can ask Seda about that one. Maybe he has a book on etiquette with elves. But I don't know. It's up to you guys. What are y'all's opinions and feelings towards it?
We're not good at manners. But look at that horse. Its name is Thunder. Red Thunder.
It's a nice horse.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a nice horse. I was waiting for Jared to say something.
You're talking about horses. Like, it is a nice looking horse. It's
He likes apples.
Has Red Thunder come closer?
Red Thunder responded to the whistle like everybody else did. He's still in his, stall down the way there, but
I go to the stall, approaching slowly, looking just like this.
he turns his head and keeps his eye on you as you approach. He's
Hi.
looking down at you.
You're a horse.
The massive head kind of comes down and like sniffs around you and like sniffs your shoulders and your head as though somehow investigating you.
Don't bite me.
It like sniffs around and like tries to like rifle through your bag. And
Is this what horses do?
Yes.
This is the closest I've been to a horse that wasn't trying to not be stepped on.
the Dragonborn comes over and gives a few like quick clicks in his mouth, and the horse brings its head back up and goes over to him. And he produces like a handful of like oats or something and gives it to him, and then pats him on the side of the head, strokes his neck, and just kind of shoos him back into the back of the stall.
I copy the clicks.
The horse turns around. Well, make another performance check, actually. This one's this one's just performance. It's not dexterous.
Oh my.
Wow.
16.
Wow, 16. Yeah, you copy the clicks pretty damn well, and the horse turns around and comes over to you and like sniffs expectantly.
It worked. What do I do now?
Well, now you give him some oats.
I don't have any oats.
Well, then he's going to be expecting it from you for a while.
How do I get oats?
I can give you some oats for 2 copper.
Okay.
He takes a handful of oats and takes your 2 copper and dumps it into your hand. And like his handful is much more than your handful, so it's like a mountain in your hand.
Here you go, horse. Thunder.
Yeah, begins eating it, and eventually you feel its lips just kind of eat the oats out of your hand. Do me a favor, go ahead and make an animal handling check right now.
Perfect. 16's the magic number.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, without issue, the horse like eats all of the oats out of your hands, and you feel like the lips, and like it's a little unnerving at first because you think it's gonna like eat your hand because its mouth is huge compared to your little clawed hand there. But it doesn't hurt you in any way, shape, or form. And once it has finished all the oats, it kind of like picks up its its muzzle, its nose, and just kind of like headbutts your nose, or its nose against your head a little bit.
I think he likes you, Greg.
Hi. Oh, hi. Is that a good sound?
It's just a sound that they make.
I don't think I hate this horse.
Well, good. I can certainly sell Red Thunder to you all.
Right.
I'm like
I
that
think-
kid who was scared of horses and then went to camp and now is like, oh, horses. Wait till I ride the horse. I don't know if I can ride the horse. How do you ride it?
That's why I was thinking wagon.
Well, you need to get a saddle, and you put the saddle on and hitch up the girdle and all the bits and bobs, take the reins, put the bit and bridle in, and climb up on the back and just ride. Use your legs as more of a standing device than as a like, don't grip too tight with your legs, or else you'll fall off, and your legs will be sore for days. It'll take some getting used to, but you'll be walking bow-legged in no time.
Why would I walk bow-legged?
Totally.
Oh, that's just horse slang. Riding on a horse for too long, your muscles get tense and stuck for a little bit after you get off a horse. So you just kind of walk with a bit of a wider gait for a while. If you're not used to it. Once you get used to it, you'll be fine.
So just so I can...
By the way,
picture
Jared
absurdity
knows
of
like
this.
nothing about horses, so if I'm wrong in any of this, don't come for me.
So I can picture the absurdity of this. Greg is like 4 feet tall, but weighs like 35, 40 pounds, and he's usually hunched over. How tall is Red Thunder by comparison?
Easily 2.5 times your height.
Right, so the absurdity of Greg being like, how do I get up there?
Well, you'd need a saddle, and then you just kind of mount yourself into the stirrups. Here, let me show you. And he goes over to a horse that has a saddle on it. It's one of the war horses. It's just got a basic kind of riding saddle. And you see him put his foot up in one of the dangly down stirrups and just kind of haul himself over, kicking off on the ground and swinging his leg over the back side of the horse. Plops down. Just like that.
Can I try?
Sure. And he calls for one of his little assistants to bring a riding saddle over to Red Thunder. And he walks, and he kind of has the kid show you how to like strap it up and whatever.
Can Greg even reach to put it on the horse?
It's a little difficult, yeah. Because the horse, like, the head of the horse is 2.5 times your size. The back of the horse is probably a little under twice your height. So it's a little difficult, but you can make all the straps, but you couldn't like throw the saddle on.
Okay. Continuing.
Yeah. So the guy shows you where the stirrups are, and you see him kind of loosen up a little bit of leather, like a leather strap down one side. That is obviously like a hand grip for you to like hold onto and kind of haul yourself up and over.
Okay.
So go ahead, make an acrobatics or athletics check to try to mount the horse.
All right. Acrobatics it is. 13.
With a 13, you are able to scramble up on top of the back of the horse and get yourself in the saddle. Your feet do not currently reach the stirrups. The stirrups are way too low, but you are able to climb up onto the horse and into the saddle.
Okay, so now what? Now does he jump? How do we make him go? What are we doing?
So the kid who like put the saddle on has also attached like a halter and bit and bridle and all that jazz, and grabs the reins and leads you and Red Thunder out to the paddock. And then once you're there, closes the paddock in, hands you the reins, and say, "All right, now just a gentle tug and a little click. That's how you get him to move forward, and you gently tug on the reins in either direction if you want him to turn." That was the wrong voice, but you get the point.
All right. Well, Grig does it.
Great, make an animal handling check.
Now,
Oh no!
forgot
All right.
about the stirrups. I go flying.
Yeah, exactly. You go, you make a few click noises and go, and make some noise, and it just,
So,
yeah, and the horse just, Red Thunder just takes off, and you go flying out of the saddle, ass over end, plopping into the mud. The kid goes chasing after Red Thunder, like whistling and calling it down.
Greg, I don't think that's how it's done.
yep. This is why I don't like horses. And then I do the whistle again.
Great, make a performance check.
Here we go. This is Grig. This is like in Zelda where you spend too much time trying to ride the horse. 15.
Okay, yeah. The horse has been caught by the reins, so it makes its way back to you with the stable hand. Fairly easily.
Grig tries again if we're willing to let that happen.
So this comedy of errors ensues.
yeah.
The Dragonborn is kind of looking at you all, and kind of looking at Adis, because Adis seems to be the guy in charge here to him for the moment. So, are you going to just kind of mess around with my horses, or are you going to buy them?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to be buying them. I just need to actually speak to them about, are we getting 2 horses for the wagon? Are we waiting a week for the wagon?
I do have a pony if that little one there can't handle a full horse.
Yes, the pony. Tanner's so happy.
Grig has not heard this yet and has words if Grig hears it.
Alright, so here's the thing: is that
He's not a
Greg
quiet
loves their
individual.
pony.
It's just a matter of how much Greg is paying attention.
So are we going medium-sized horses to pull this wagon, or are we going big and small horses for our big and small people?
Well, the war horse, I think we need 2 of them, and that's 800 gold. And then on top of that, we'd need 1 or 2 more horses. Or we just get a wagon. And I think if we get a wagon, 2 horses would cover pulling us, correct? Like standard horses, draft horses?
Draft horses would definitely be the horses you'd want for that. They do move a little bit slower, but they are stockier, stronger horses.
But do we
Right.
need more than 2? Like, do we need to rotate them in?
No, it cuts the work. They would just need like a little break in the middle of the day. As
But
I'm
again,
sure-
at what point do we have to abandon?
Well, as far as I can recall, there is a trading town at the edge of the Verdenton Glen, or of
Right.
the Verdenton Causeway, which we could potentially store our carriage at if we're progressing deeper.
Right, but if we have 2 draft horses, we can't then ride them.
They're not right. That's why we're getting the carriage. which carries us.
Yes.
Yeah, or just we would be on foot entering the woods.
Right, because we would be parking them basically at the border
Right.
town.
In horse parking,
Yeah. I'm sure we can make friends somewhere.
Sorry, this is horse parking only. No wagons allowed in this area.
Right.
Can't you read the sign?
Damn it. So are you guys fine? Do you want an open wagon, or do we want to get a covered wagon? So it would just take a week.
I would say not in a rush, but pretty sure Greg's gonna pay this guy to learn how to ride a horse.
How much are your draft horses?
Well, our draft horses, they're not quite as they're bred from a different stock than the riding horses. So I've got about 6 of them right now that are marketable. They're about 50 gold each.
Okay, so if we get 2 of those for a tandem wagon, we should be fine as long as we give them brakes, correct?
Yeah, they're genetically. Well, he wouldn't know that word. They're bred. They're bred to be strong, and have high endurance, and they're not made for speed necessarily, but they are sturdy and strong and can go for half a day, maybe more if you push them a little bit, without too much of an issue. You just give them a little hour break, and they're fine to keep going.
All right. I mean, that sounds good to me. So that's 200 gold as opposed to 800 plus. So I'd be fine with that if we're taking a week to prepare ourselves for this really long ass journey.
I mean, if we were walking, we'd get wet.
Right, but if we get a covered wagon, we can at least cut down on that while traveling. We have a tent that keeps us dry, but I'd prefer not to walk in the rain or other weather conditions if possible.
Sure.
Said the ranger from the forest.
I know.
I don't know.
From
There
the
still
forest
could be
town.
diseases. There could still be diseases. I don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
He's an inside ranger. Doesn't do weather.
I'm a forest ranger, not a plains ranger. I think we've established this.
It's true.
But I don't know. That just cuts down on expenses, and we can carry more supplies as well.
I think wagon's a good idea. I'm not sure we need it to be covered, but I could be convinced. I don't feel that strongly.
I'm just thinking Pioneer Wagon, Oregon Trail. Let's go.
If any of us gets dysentery.
Oh dear.
Guys, we're level 10 now.
Yep, level 10. It's done.
Whoa, that was Discord did a little blip, so you all went out for a moment. So all I heard.
You went out
You
on our
went out.
screen.
We were
so
all still together. You went out.
every time you do that, we level up.
Yep.
Ha! Keep dreaming.
All right. We'll take 2 draft horses, and I'll go talk to the wagon merchant.
All right. Yeah. So 100 gold will get you the 2 draft horses. You can talk to the wagoneer. He will get you all of the stuff for the wagon. And you're going to get it covered?
Yes.
Cool. So for 90 gold, it'll cover that. For another 10 gold, he'll also include all of the tack for hitching the horses to it.
That seems important.
Yeah.
Can we get does he have tiny repair kits just in case we run into anything?
Yeah,
You need a repair kit?
he's got like some basic like tools. Like, what do you mean by repair kit? Do you mean like a spare wagon wheel?
Sure.
He can provide you with like a spare wagon wheel for like 4 gold.
Couple
Okay.
of spokes or something.
Yeah,
Ye-
just like some.
Yes, like we'll say that for 1 complete wheel and a set of spokes. For 1 wheel, it's probably 6 gold.
Okay, so I'm
So-
giving him 106.
The
Mhm.
wagoner or the.
The
Yeah.
wagoner.
Disclaimer.
If you
Does
want
anyone,
to, can we do the horses out of the party funds?
We can just do the wagon from the party funds. We have money,
Okay.
but we'll have to sell the wagon. We can't just ditch it.
Well, we're gonna park it. There's a border town at the edge
Yeah,
of the
I don't-
forest.
What if somebody. Whatever. People take things.
Does anyone have a mending proficiency?
Inherently bad.
We have 2 people that are skilled with tools,
Yeah,
and we just need the supplies.
I think we can do that.
Mhm.
So, all right, so it's 206 total between wagon and horses.
Alright,
Cool.
that's not bad.
And then if Greg wants to pick up some paint to like do their thing.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a Grig choice. How do I math? 44. Oh my god.
I don't know how to
Amber, what did you do?
I just tried to math. It's fine. I subtracted 6 from 50, okay? Just took me 5 minutes.
So the 2 draft horses that you get sold are named Clyde and Cleed.
Oh my god.
Clyde and Cleed.
Love it.
Clyde and Cleed. They are like they have similar coloring, and the Dragonborn tells you that they are actually like sibling horses. Like
Aw.
one's like
Aw.
a year older. Like Clyde is what year older, but they have the same lineage. He's gotten good draft horses out of that line before, so he tried it again and it worked.
Sweet.
Yeah, you've got Clyde and Cleed.
Clyde and Cleed in a.
Oh,
Cleed.
Coaster Board gifting a subscription.
Hey.
Thank you very much, Coaster Board. Gifted a subscription to Dream Mephisto.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh,
That's
nice.
me.
Aw.
That's me. Good job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coaster Board. Much appreciated. That's our first gifted sub, too. Well done.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Woo,
History,
Coaster
I-
Board. Thanks
I love it.
thanks for being here, Coaster Board. Much appreciated. Great. So yeah, you have successfully purchased 2 horses and a wagon that will be built in a week, or covered in a week, I should say. Which is
Okay.
great.
Downtime.
Horse time.
So, Grig, you're gonna attempt to spend some time over this course of the week learning how to ride a horse.
Yeah, you know, Greg. It's a skill. There's
All
a
right,
challenge.
cool. Cool. Good to know.
So is Creed getting their own horse?
We'll find out if at the end of this week I'm capable of riding it.
All right. Olive, are you going to want to attempt to do anything over this week?
I'm gonna buy some apples
Okay.
for our horses.
Okay.
And not much else because Olive is broke.
Cool. Yeah, you can buy like a half bushel of apples for like 1 silver,
All right.
or fewer apples for less money. Depends on how much you want to go. Like 1 apple is 1 copper.
Does Olive need some money?
We'll buy whatever the bushel of apples is. Why not?
The half bushel?
Half bushel of apples.
All right, that's a silver.
All right.
And that gives you like 30 apples. So,
All right.
A lot of apples.
A lot of apples.
Someone's gonna be regular. Or are these for the horses?
They're for the horses.
Oh, okay.
Great, cool. Adis, what are you going to do as you wait for the week?
I'm going to put another week into that trick shot.
Ooh, excellent. Kalen is happy to teach you when he can, and you can practice during the days. So you begin that endeavor. Defect, what are you going to do? Go ahead, Olive.
Olive's just gonna take some time to walk around this town because she hasn't been here. So anyone want to show Olive the cool parts of town?
You were here when we fought them.
Yes, but I didn't stay.
Fair.
Yeah,
Spook.
you can meander.
Since he's not here.
Yeah, Spood'll volunteer to help get you around. So Defect, what are you going to do with your week?
I will take the week to return to that guy who was giving me lessons, the fighting lessons.
Okay. Yeah.
Trying to look at my notes here. Gron, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Gron.
Mhm.
So I'll continue my fighting lessons with him.
All right, so you begin that process.
I will also take the time to hang out with my new talisman and the Tunis.
Yeah, that takes you an hour, so no problem. Very cool. So you all have begun these various activities over the course of the week. And like the first day goes by pretty uneventfully. On the second day, Defect.
Mm-hmm.
You like come back. You're the first one back to the tavern this day. And everybody staying at the tavern, make sure you deduct 2 gold per night at the tavern. Or 2 gold per room. Well, no, it's 2 gold per person. So, however you want to take care of that, just keep it in mind. So, Defect, you return to the tavern and go up to the room.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a figure waiting in the room for you.
In my room?
In your room.
Oh, that's shady. I draw my axe.
It is a cloaked figure. It has like a brown, like almost like a duster with a super high collar and a hood.
Pretty badass. Dig it.
Yeah, pretty badass. You can see a bunch of buckles. It's very thin and much shorter than you are, like probably like 5'7". But it's very thin and very like you can see there's a lot of length in the limbs and everything. But you like hold your axe threateningly, and
Right.
it brings up its hands like in like a non-threatening motion. I don't mean you any harm, and it carefully like goes over and removes one of the gloves, and you see a hand very similar to your own, made of wood and metal.
Defect's family.
But he hasn't shown his face yet. It's still like
Well, you
covered
came in and raised an axe at it, so
right. I don't know if it's like if he's still being mysterious and
no, but upon you seeing your reaction and just like stopping when it removes the glove,
right. No, the mouth drops.
yeah, the figure then like raises its hands to its hood and pulls the hood back, and you see a face with a much like yours, a metal jawline and metal cheekbones. You see like spacing and orbs that seem to have like ratcheted irises in them, and wood where like tendons would be, and no hair, but seems to be made of like a darker shade of metal than you are. Like very dark grays and blacks. And it brings down the hood all the way, and it smiles a little bit. I've been looking for you.
Defect is going to pull a Greg and just ask a million questions. Who are you? Where do you come from? How do you get in this room? Are you friend or foe? And just like keep rambling on and on and on.
The figure brings up its hand. Blockadius, don't you remember me?
Excuse me, Mom, as I write this in the notes. You must be mistaken. My name is Defect.
No. Your name is Blockadius. I've known you for years.
Who are you?
You don't remember me?
I don't remember anything since washing up on this continent.
That must be why you didn't come home. We've been worried about
There's
you.
a
We thought
plan.
you were lost.
Wait, where's home?
It's very far away. But you don't remember anything about House Sparkarian?
I'm gonna write that down again. How that was House Sparkarian.
Sparkarian, yep.
Lucaria.
You're
Okay.
making Mike take notes. This is
Right?
naughty.
Yeah. All right. Again, I know nothing.
Well, I can't tell you much here. But you and I, we're friends. We're more than that. We're close friends. My name is Umbradius. Does that ring any bells?
Does it? Do any of these words?
Nope, they're just words to you.
Defect just shakes his head no.
You used to
How did
call
you
me
find me?
Umbra.
What's a Umbra?
Well, it was a nickname you would call me. It's okay.
How did you find me?
Well, that's a bit of a longer story. Suffice it to say, we heard that one of our own was in a fighting pit for some reason, and I convinced the head of the house to send me and someone else to try to find you. And
You mean there's more of us?
yes,
Well,
Not-
many more.
not many. We are a small house, but we're working on it. It's very important you come home. You're missed, and you're very important. Come home with me.
I want to. I wish to know more about where I'm from, to remember again, but
We can
I
help
have
you.
a friend here.
Friend?
Okay, friends, plural.
Okay. I don't see what bearing that has on anything.
Well, they need my help. We're to save the planet, or something. It was very confusing.
They're
Something about time.
they're humanoid? They're humans or what?
One's a stupid human. There's a turtle. And then there's a half orc. But my best friend is a little goblin.
Yeah, you don't need them.
Mm.
Just come home with us. You're important. We know what to do to help you.
Gonna die.
But
I've missed you for the last 3 years. And I'm not the
has
only
it been
one.
long? How old am I?
Well, as far as I know, you're about 11.
Yeah, baby.
Aw.
I'm
I'm a
9.
teen, right? I'm a teen.
That's why you guys are friends.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Defect has like a million questions and is like, is 11 old?
It's...
When do we die? What is our
Well,
age range?
we don't know. I mean, the head of the house is the oldest. He's about 20. Look, I understand you have a lot of questions, but they will all be answered. Just come home.
But can they not be answered now?
Not
Would you
here.
not like to be friends?
They are irrelevant to my purpose here.
What is your purpose?
To bring you home.
Well, why? Why can I not wait? Right now you're here. We can talk. We can.
You belong with us. You are on a canaton.
Say that again?
Spell that again?
An arcanaton.
More notes.
You are an arcana. You are sorry. You are an arcanaton, just like me, just like the rest of our house.
But I don't know what that is.
It is what we are. This form of wood and metal, and the spark of life and consciousness and soul that we have. We are arcanatons.
What is our purpose?
Whatever we wish it to be now.
Then perhaps my purpose is to be with my friends and help them save the planet.
I understand you think that. But that's because you are missing a part of you. We can help return it. And then you will not worry about these other people anymore. You're one of our strongest defenders, one of our stalwart, trusted guards. You help keep Sparkarian safe, and we need you.
Sparkarium? All right, I should write that down. Okay.
I understand it's a lot to take in.
I have searched for years, or not years, months, I guess. I've got length of time I've been.
What is time?
D&D is always a weird concept of time.
It's true.
It's been a year for us.
Right.
It's been like 2 months for our character.
You're
Yeah,
bordering
yeah,
on like 3
I mean-
months or 3 or 4 months now. But yeah.
Where was I going with this?
You've searched for.
What was my train of thought?
You searched for about.
Thank you. I've been looking for signs of who I am, where I'm from, and in that time, I've come across these people who rely on me, and they have helped me. I cannot turn my back on them now, even when.
I understand that you feel that way. But you didn't find anything because we aren't from here. We're from back home. All of us are. So the only place to find answers is back home.
I want to actually really quickly take out that the knife and that pendant. Show him the symbol.
Yeah.
And ask, is this who we are?
That is the emblem of our house. I gave you that few weeks ago.
Oh,
I
yeah, right, okay.
I gave it to you, and then you left, and
Why did I?
you had gone on the Frigid Duke expedition.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm sorry. Uh, I mean to ask, like, how did I wind up here?
You were put onto one of our surveillance ships as a guard. They were doing some.
Surveillance.
They were looking for danger and also for valuable resources that might be useful in our endeavors back home. From what we gather, there was a storm, and you were lost. You went overboard in the middle of the ocean, and we searched as much of the Atlantis as we could and didn't find you. We thought you were lost. The entire house mourned you for 2 months. I mourned you longer. And then our sources brought word of one of our kind in a fighting pit, matched your description, and I convinced the head of the house to let me come, like I said. The figure approaches you, and they walk within arm's reach of you and extend a hand and kind of grasp your shoulder. Don't you feel anything? Remember anything? Blockadius, we were very close friends, and I have missed you every day. I know you think that these people that you're friends with are important, but that's only because you don't remember who you really are. You belong at home, with me, with us. Your family.
Oh, no, this is heavy stuff on defect. What does defect do? What does he ask? What does he say? I
I don't know. You tell me.
don't know. I'm thinking. Again, like defect will reiterate. I've spent so much time searching for who I am and what I am that I came to a point where it didn't matter who I was, just depended on what was needed for me that day from my friends. And I was a protector. I was an ally.
But you are so much more. You are a complex individual. You're strong, yes, a protector, a defender, absolutely. For lack of a better term, that was the intention you were made with. But you moved beyond that. We all did. I myself was designed to root out secrets and find ways into places and all these other things that other people wanted me to do. But when we founded the House Sparkarian, we moved beyond that. We took what was ours by right of creation, by identity, by soul. You are more than just someone with a big axe. You were always thoughtful and curious, and you could always make me laugh. You were the bright part of all the darkness that I was forced to do before Sparkarian. There is more to you, Blockadius, than what you know now, than what you remember, and more than these friends could possibly understand.
But there is time. There is surely no need for me to rush home. And why not join us? We can use the help. And I'm sure they'll like to meet you.
I have no interest in your friends. I came here to find you. I didn't know that you didn't remember anything. I didn't know that you wouldn't remember me. I was hoping that you would just come home. I thought you'd be excited. I thought you'd want to come home again. I thought you were with these people because it was convenient. I didn't think that you were here because you were attached to them. Or maybe they had ensorcelled you or something like that. I'm
Just a second. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, go on. Continue.
It's a lot of the same thing. They just, explain that they came because of you. Like, if it had been anyone else, they probably wouldn't have put all this effort into it. But we've been trying to find you for months. About a month and a half ago, we landed in this horrible little place called Winton. Just
It
gross,
is a terrible.
gross people, merchant princes, just horrible environment. Ugh.
That's fair.
So backwards and just not like home.
You're not wrong there, but
you were gone. We had to employ arcane means to start finding you, and we had to travel behind you, and it took us time, and we only just caught up with you recently, and then you were gone again.
Well, if it was you that gave me this paperweight, I mean, that was a weird calling card.
It's an emblem. I was hoping that I didn't want to wake anything with that goblin in the room. I didn't want to talk then. But I was hoping that by delivering it to you, you would know that we were here, and you would know that we had come to bring you home. That paperweight, as you call it, is my house emblem. And they remove a couple, and they like pull back the part of their like duster, and like undo a couple of buckles, and there's like an indentation in their chest, in their like shoulder, that seems to be about the size of that emblem that was given you would fit in.
Then I believe this belongs to you, and I hand it back to Umbra.
They close your hand back around it. You keep it.
But I don't carry papers.
You don't need to. Blockadius. Cade. I want you to come home. And I look forward to when you want to come home too. These people, they might like you. They might value you for your strength and your abilities. But ultimately, they're not like you. Not like us. We're still learning the joys of being an Arcanaton. When you're ready, when they abandon you, when they can't deal with your otherness anymore, we'll always be there for you. And
I don't.
when that happens, I will be there for you. And they've had their hands like over yours, closed over the emblem this whole time.
Mhm.
They move one of them and kind of just touch the side of your face just lightly, and then step back and pull their hood back up and walk to the window and turn back and look at you one last time, and then crawls out the window without a word.
There's a door. It's even more suspicious.
Please allow me to ask him before he does that dramatic.
Sure.
If I can ask him, if I need to find you, where do I find you again?
As he turns back to look at you, before he crawls out, or before they crawl out the window, they reply, "We'll be watching you. We'll know." And then they crawl out the window.
I have no idea how I'm gonna balance not knowing this is Greg and knowing this is Amber.
Ah! I just
No, go ahead. I'm
the audacity.
Where did that bottle go with?
That's a mood. That's
I
yeah.
love it.
Came out of left field for me.
Yeah.
Only
Intense
I can
moment.
understand you. Meow meow. Your friends are not important.
Pounds back the whole glass. Damn girl.
Hey.
Wow. Okay.
That's the same thing I feel every time I get backstory hit. So
I get it.
I'm so
So yeah, so Defect has this information, scant though it may be.
Yeah.
But you've got a few words and a few things that you've received. A few hours later, your friends start returning to the tavern, except, well, no, Adis probably goes there to have a few drinks, because that's what Adis does.
Tanner has a few words for this guy too.
They did not seem to conform to any particular gender. Just
For this
FYI.
non-binary,
Yeah.
gender-neutral robot,
Jerk.
Tanner has
For this
words for them.
jerk.
For this jerk.
Jerk is gender neutral.
It is, yeah.
So it's a lot of other words I have.
Asshole.
Oh, they get worse than that.
But yeah, so your friends return to the tavern that evening. Do you do anything? Do you say anything? Do you keep it to yourself?
Yeah, like his words lay heavy on my thoughts. So
There.
as we're all sitting on my at the table, I will ask like, so are we friends? You
What do
guys,
you mean, are we friends?
Of course.
I mean, you guys enjoy my company. Am I more than just a muscle for you guys?
Am I more than just a stupid human?
I look at Greg.
Sometimes. Sometimes you're not as stupid. That one time you were smart. For a
The
second.
one time. Right,
Yeah.
right.
I
The
hope
answer-
we are. I came back because Flora had a dream that you needed me. So I hope we're friends.
I mean, I assumed we were. And I enjoy your company as well as your stalwartness. But I mean, yeah. Why are you asking? Insight check.
Yeah, insight check Greg too. Like we've
You want
never
me to
asked us
insight
about
Greg?
each other. We've only asked
Instead of
us
an
about other
insight
people.
check, I would like everyone else to make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Why are you making us all roll our worst stat?
Was it fun?
11.
Apparently, I've forgotten how to use this thing.
Okay.
So
So yeah, all of you're a little clunky with your feelings. You're not used to sharing them very much. So like it's a little
I'd like
awkward
to
for
turn
you.
into a cat and curl up under the table.
Yeah. Defect, Grig is being very sincere. You can tell that they really mean what they say when they talk about that obviously you're their friend. Like, why are you asking
You're
that?
my
That
best
seems
friend.
that seems like a weird question for you to ask. From Adis, you get sincerity, confusion. Like,
Mhm.
he's obviously confused why you're asking the question. But you can tell that he's answering honestly.
I'm gonna insight you whether it be
Hmm?
passive or active.
Yeah. Why are we having this conversation in front of other people? This is stuff.
Yeah,
that we don't
Adis,
talk
with your
about
with your
time.
passive insight, something's on Defect's mind, like something that
I see.
he wasn't thinking about, like the last time you saw him.
Is
Like,
it like
he's
thinking really
preoccupied.
hard? Like there's smoke that's slowly billowing out.
Coming out.
Like
Like it's
you
working
can
really
almost
hard.
hear gears whirring, but
Interesting.
yeah, no, like he's definitely preoccupied.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like he's thinking about something.
Okay.
Looking around the room, Jared, because I know he said that you always have eyes on me, so do I see anything out of place? Anyone staring at me?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
21.
Cool. With a 21, you look around, beyond the usual like stares and whispers in your direction, just based on you being so different from everybody else. You don't notice anybody paying particular attention to you.
Okay. Man, Defect has like a lot going on in his head. He found out more about who he is and where he's from, but was told by that same person that he can't trust, but he wants to. So he kind of leans in, kind of beckons everyone to like lean in closer.
Greg casts message and says what?
My name is Blockadius.
I thought your name was Defect.
And then I just rehash what happened. But I try to do it like in a hushed tone, so like I don't want anyone to overhear.
Mhm.
So I explain like what happened in the room and this person, what is it, Umbradius / Umbra, about my real name, about the House Sparkarium, about how old I am, and what we're called, and the Sparkarium and the surveillance ship, and as
Is
much as
this
I.
Is this the same day that we got information dumped in the morning?
No, this is 2 days after that.
Oh, okay. As long as it's not the same day, because I feel like my processing power would not be.
It's okay, you've had a few drinks since then.
There's,
so-
I know, but there's only so much you can have dumped in one day. Just like, that sounds like a lot.
Do you tell us about the part where he said your friends are unimportant and irrelevant to his purposes, and
Ooh, do I?
Oh,
or
shit.
do you just info dump like
Wait,
this guy
this-
came and told me about House Barkarion and what my name is and that I'm supposed to go home?
does Spoot have calm emotions prepared?
Spoot is just staring and taking it all in, very shocked by all this.
So I feel like we're gonna have to like tie Greg down if that was said.
I feel like Defect still wants to have hope that he comes from a good place and that this guy, this Armbradius, is a good person. So he'll sugarcoat it and say like, because he hasn't met you, hasn't had a chance to know how lovely of people you are, including you, Adis.
Insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
That last part made me suspicious. 14.
With a 14, like, there's something weird about what Defect is saying. Like, there's something off about it, but it's hard to nail down exactly what it is.
So I don't know exactly what was said, but that doesn't seem like it was quite
Yeah,
it.
like you get the sense that he's paraphrasing,
Okay.
or like maybe he's trying to like explain more than you think he should need to.
Right.
But you don't get like an intent behind it, like an insidious intent or anything.
And also, I do include explaining the symbol, the dagger and the pendant.
What
Currently
dagger?
not, but
He showed you the dagger.
Did you show me the dagger?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like a
Never
mini
seen this.
mini Buster sword. It's like a chisel tipped dagger.
Oh, okay.
Where did you get that?
In his
Yes,
chest
how-
pocket.
Yeah. It was always with me.
It's just like the other pockets where I put the talismans that I make. One of them made Defect grow these like pine quill hairs.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the back
That's right.
rug.
Yeah, he did. He looked like that when I last saw him.
Yeah.
I did that.
It was weird watching him grow in.
Technically.
I have some druidic powers.
Yeah.
Greg just looks kind of torn and a little scared and a little interested and is going to cast message and say, "So are you going to go?"
Mm,
But not out loud,
Yeah.
just to Defect, just looking like puzzle faced to the room.
and Defect will message back internally. Yes, but not now.
Lots of confused and scaredy face, but no answer.
Okay. You all finish up for the evening, do all your evening ritual stuff, and the next day begins like any other day. And a few days go by. You keep doing your horse riding, or your training, or your sightseeing. Olive, you do see the obvious Pearl Tower on the coastline.
Oh yeah.
Artemis.
That was not there previously. Like, it's a good 150 feet in the air.
That's new.
Spoot will tell you all about it.
Yeah, and he relates the entire story of how Imola just sort of decided his tower was going to be there and put it there.
He's a cute little frog person.
I see.
Yeah.
I forget what the race is called. They're actually like fucking adorable.
But yeah, he's a
So
little...
what was there before the tower? Did he like displace somebody?
No, it's just an empty patch of coastline.
That was thoughtful of him, I suppose.
Yeah, like half the tower's in the water and the front door is on the coastline. There's like rocks that have been like raised up out of the beach to so that like any like tidal incomings, like you can still walk dryly to the front door.
It's pretty fancy.
Yeah. And like the entire tower is like a pearl. Like the sheen, the texture, the color of like an iridescent pearl. So that kind of creamy white, shiny, hard, brittle.
Mm-hmm.
Even the door.
Ooh.
But there is a gold handle on the door.
Can I turn into an oyster and try to make a pearl for a bit?
Um
I feel like that's a process.
For like 4 hours and not get very far, but try.
Hysterical.
I will say, sure, you can turn into an oyster, and you can chew on a bit of grit for a while, and then you pop back to your normal self, and you have sand in your mouth.
Did you make a pearl at least?
No.
Make a tiny little
No.
seed pearl.
Damn.
She was trying.
No, your tongue is a little sore, actually.
Alright, well, it was worth a try. Takes a lot of work to build a pearl that size.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it was made by magic.
Hmm.
I mean, I turned into an oyster by magic.
Yeah.
Different.
So these few days kind of go on. Adis, you're practicing how to do this trick shot thing. About 2 days before the wagon is to be completed and you're going to pick it up and the horses and all that jazz. You all return to the tavern except for Grig.
Where's
Where-
Greg?
Lord, what is happening?
Oh no, did they fall off their
I
horse?
think
Where
that
am
is
I?
the most concerning person of our party to be missing.
Dinner comes and goes. No Grig.
All right, no.
Bedtime
Spoot.
comes. No
Spoot.
Grig.
Spoot, where's Greg? Can you do that thing?
Jared, where's Greg?
The last few patrons in the tavern leave. Still no Grig.
Where's Greg?
What the hell?
Where am I?
And that's
Never
where we will
mind.
end tonight's session of Newly Forged.
Can I get humanoid before we do that?
The automata. I got kidnapped.
I like how that's what you assume.
Yes.
That's funny.
Greg's having tea in the park.
So, well done. That was a wonderful, wonderful session, everybody. You made some good inroads into preparing for your next big travel, Defect got a little backstory action, kind of. I've just got it in chat. Not this, not this, not this, not this, not this.
Oh gosh.
No.
Greg is
Um,
the most concerning party member for me to have going missing.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't think anybody else has gone missing and not known why.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even just that. It's just like, I know Spoot wouldn't really get themselves into trouble.
Sure, sure.
Right.
Greg,
I mean, we
especially
last saw.
listen, that last conversation that we had about your morals and just like taking people's things that you need and you don't think they need.
I mean, we did last see Greg being thrown by a large horse.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's fine. But Greg
Is
has
it-
also been showering Defect with adoration
Oh yeah, definitely.
in those intervening times.
Yep. Yeah.
Weird.
It was just days went by, and then suddenly Greg never came home from
Phone call.
the inn, or from the horse stable. The stable.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where we will end for tonight, and we'll pick up there amidst the questions and concern next week here on Newly Forged. I will figure out who we're going to give a little raid love to, and in the meantime, we'll go around and say some goodbyes. We'll start in the bottom, middle, square to block with Olive.
Hey.
Go ahead,
Hey, y'all.
plug anything you want to plug, say your goodbyes, all that
I have
jazz.
nothing to plug, but it's awesome to be back, guys.
Love that. Moving right along to Greg.
That's me. Or is it? Join us next week when I find out what's happening also. Yeah, in the meantime, catch up on YouTube if you haven't already. We're Newly Forged. That's the channel on the YouTube. And there are other social medias at Newly Forged as well.
That's right. Thank
True
you.
story.
Hopping on up to Defect, or should I say Blockadius?
Arcadius.
No!
I don't know. Who knows? Thank you for watching. That has been the most entertaining 3 hours of today. Of this, God, I feel like the whole campaign. Like, I'm feeling heart palpitations still. Anyways, today's episode is brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
He
It's
loves
a
the
spot.
peanut butter whiskey. Like,
Yeah,
he loves
no,
it.
it's
I'm
really,
not sure how I feel about that.
It's that sweet
No.
tooth.
believe me.
It's
like,
not bad. I've tried it. Like, it's not bad. It's not my
Right.
cup of
Plus
tea,
you-
but it's not bad.
I mean, I do have a bottle of mushroom vodka in my cabinet, so.
Fair.
Real mushroom vodka.
Thank you for watching, and catch us next week.
Wonderful.
Tanner left.
Tanner doesn't get to say goodbye.
Tanner is back on video, and he loves you all and appreciates you watching as well. I have been Jared, your humble dungeon master here on Newly Forged. As Amber said, check out all the social medias. You can also catch Matt and I on our podcast, Mid-Level Adventurers. We're working on some new episodes, so that will be exciting to talk about soon. And maybe we'll have some other special stream-related stuff coming up in the upcoming weeks. We'll talk about that, see how that goes. We're going to raid Joe Cat himself. If you are familiar with the with Joe Cat's D&D YouTube stuff, it's very, very funny. So I think you'll enjoy this. He's playing some D&D tonight, so we'll check it out. In the meantime, we'll see you all next week here on Newly Forged. So goodbye, everyone. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Bye.